What's up everyone, Art of Patience Metal Fab, and today we got a fresh project in the shop that I wanted to start recording on because I'm particularly excited about it. Now, I'm a big Subaru lover, and this is a BRZ and FRS platform. The interesting thing about it is the owner has yanked out the Subaru Boxer engine and replaced it with a Ford Mustang Coyote. And so our job is gonna be to do custom engine and transmission mounts, do some plumbing work, and most of all, a fully custom exhaust from the front to the back of the car. There's a ton of cool work to be done on this, and I know Andrew is starting right away. So I'm gonna get in the shop, start filming, and we'll see where we end up by the end of this episode. Max put the finishing touches on the FRS exhaust yesterday, so I thought I would get with him this morning and talk about how everything went.
First things first, it's got the big Coyote swap. So that was kind of our #1 challenge, was getting the engine proper, everything set, transmission where it needs to be, and then what we had to do was start by modifying the header on the driver's side. Passenger side header actually fits and clears everything. Firewall, subframe, all that kind of stuff wasn't really an issue, but what we ended up having to do to get the motor in here properly was drop the rack just a little bit to make sure it cleared the oil pan. And when we did that, we also had to make sure that the OEM header on the driver's side had a few modifications to clear the steering shaft, to clear, you know, things like the sway bar and all that kind of stuff. So we modified that, and then we started on the rest of our connections back from here. Biggest challenge here is making sure everything is tucked up. When you got the V8 that's all real big and heavy and you're running 3-inch pipe, kind of tends to hang down a little bit low. So what we ended up doing was running it through by the transmission and then tucking it up even tighter after the tranny cross member. That gives you just more ground clearance, side to side, all that kind of stuff, and it's got great appeal. So fits the car like it's supposed to, it clears the drive shaft, and we're in really good shape, and it should sound absolutely killer.
So going to the back of the car, this was the last section you were working on. You want to talk about these mufflers and really what else needs to be done to wrap this exhaust up?
Yeah, realistically, the mufflers are just kind of a great end cap to everything. They're going to do a perfect job at dropping the volume of the exhaust just enough to be very drivable and enjoyable. All we have left on the back end here is just kind of some tip configuration. That's why it's not finished welded yet, and we're still waiting on the customer to kind of decide what he wants to do for a tip configuration on there, and that's really all we got left.
That's really the most exciting part about this entire thing is you have the flat plane Coyote V8 in the front. You have this really nice exhaust now with resonators and mufflers. Like Max said, it's not going to be a straight pipe setup, so this is going to sound like a little baby Mustang on steroids, because once it's tuned up and it's making really great power, it'll be super fast, sound awesome, and you know, with the hood closed and this thing on the ground, you won't even really know. It'll be a little bit of a sleeper in a sense, even though it's, you know, it's sports car. These things are going from the 140 horsepower they had stock to however much the V8 makes, about triple that probably. Max obviously did a killer job with his exhaust, Andrew too on the subframe modifications, and from here the rest of the build's a little bit of a question mark. This is one of those cars that comes in with a couple of things on the list, and then that list ends up growing to the point of we might potentially be getting this thing running here, but I'm not exactly sure. I know we've talked about getting a different fuel cell and fuel pump setup in this, eventually doing a little bit of wiring, and you might get to hear that Coyote V8 fire up at the PMF shop. For this episode, I'm gonna wrap it with the exhaust work, and then if we decide to do a little bit more, we get the go-ahead to really see it through to its final stages, then we'll start a new episode on it. But for now, I wanna thank you guys for watching this one. Hopefully you enjoyed the modifications we did. If you did, please like the video, subscribe to the page, and we'll see you in our next one.